Welcome to the capital of Wales, where they have Resident Evil 2 on the N64 for £220. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the free trading game collection challenge, the series where I look to build a video game collection. This one without spending any money on it. How do we do it? Well, we have a playlist and it's full of all the videos on how I picked up every single video game, all the way down to the television that I am displaying, maybe reflectively, a video game on right now. Go and check them out if you want to be caught up. If you do want to enjoy this video, please consider hitting the like button. It really does help out the channel a lot. And of course, you can subscribe. I have heard a rumour it's free and you can change your mind at any time. Now, with that being said, spoiler alert for the last episode, we got £127 trade in Insane Games. I spent that across 2 of their stores. We picked up some decent games, I would say, fleshed out the Mega Drive collection just that little bit more, and we added a Switch game that I've been looking to add for quite a while. Now, what I really want to add, I've got 2 or 3 games in mind. I don't have any plans to add them anytime soon, but I am going to actively look to maybe try and make the money to do this. So the first one is going to be Sifu on the PS5. I've seen quite a few special editions knocking about CEX recently, so may look to get that into the collection as quickly as possible, although I'm thinking that may still come down in price. The next one is going to be the Turtles Cowabunga collection, I think it's called. Now, I'm not really that bothered which platform I get it on, either PS4 or Switch. I'm thinking Switch though, because I think it's one of those games I think I'd like to play on a plane, maybe in a hotel room or something. So with that in mind, maybe I would get it on the Switch. And then, of course, Shredder's Revenge, which again is another game that I will get on the platform that I pick up the Cowabunga collection on, because you can't have... Why would you have... Yeah, do you know what I mean? Those are the 3 games I'm really looking to pick up as soon as possible. How long it'll take me to get them, I really don't know. So the angle may have changed, the quality may have changed as well. It's because I'm using my phone to record. I've actually got rid of the camera now. We're using the good microphone, although it might not sound great because of the echo, because the walls are probably reverberating and I need to get some foam up or something. But in today's video, we are going to add 3 things to the collection. We're also going to take a trip around the capital city of Wales, which is a very depressing place. We'll get into that in just a bit. And we are going to touch on how you can start a video game collection without, I would say without any money, but even if you just have a £5, we're going to talk about that a little bit. There was a comment in my most recent video asking if it's still viable. I mean, it's still viable. Of course it is. Always will be. It's just you have to scale your expectation and your collection depending on how much money that you have. If you only have £5 or £10, you don't have any disposable income, but you think you can spare that, which I suppose is technically disposable income, but not regular disposable income, then these are some tips that you can use. And in fact, they are tips that I've used for today's video. So at the very beginning of lockdown, I had a problem. Money, as we all have that problem. But ad revenue on YouTube had really hit the floor. My YouTube channel started dying off quite quickly, and I didn't have any money coming in, so I needed to do something. So I went through my spare room and I started selling possessions.
How much for this?
You want to buy that? 50 cents?
I'll give you 25 cents.
Yeah, I just can't do that.
Things that I didn't think were worth money were actually worth a lot of money. I made, obviously not really, because at the same time I'd bought this stuff in the first place, but I was making enough money to survive by selling my possessions. So that was how I actually got started in buying and selling, is selling things that you already own to be able to bankroll going out and buying more stuff to be able to flip for money. So that is definitely the tip of the day, really, is to look very, very close to home. Even if you've gone through it yourself and you've already done it and you've already gone through every single thing you have in your house, maybe put out the question to a family member. Are you looking to do a little bit of a clear out? Do you have anything that you maybe think you're going to throw away? Is there anything of mine in your house that I could maybe look through? You know, that kind of thing. And that's kind of where we land on today. family member reached out to me and said, look, I'm getting rid of a few things. Would you be interested? Now, a few of the things are not really that exciting. I'm not going to incorporate them in the video. There are 5 things. I haven't had the other 2 yet, but they said that they will arrive. They are coming. Not that they've posted them or anything, but they're going to sort them out and get them over to me. But 3 of the things have arrived, one of which is very loosely tied to gaming. The other 2 are very firmly in that bracket. I'm talking about plushes, teddies, if you will, soft toys, cuddly toys. The first one is going to be a Muppets character, and it is Rizzo. Now, there probably is a Muppets game or 6 knocking about the place. Good quality plush, actually. That, believe it or not, is worth anywhere between 30 and 50. But they didn't want it. They were getting rid of it. It was probably going to end up in some sort of charity shop or a bin, maybe. I don't know. But that is going to go into my sell pile. And that will fund today's pickups. And that is, you know, me, someone who's been doing this for a while. The family know that that's what I do. I always get questions. In fact, my mum asked me yesterday, do you have a printer for sale because your niece is looking for one? Like, they'll literally just come and ask me, do I have something in stock? And then the other side of it is, we have this, do you want it? And you can sell it. Some people come to me in the family and say, look, can you sell this for me? And you can keep like 20-30% of it, which happens quite a lot, funnily enough. The other 2 are both Mario related. The first of which is Yoshi with a tag, I might add, which is always nice to have with a plush. That is worth anywhere between 15 and 20. And the other one is going to be Toad, again with a tag, and is worth anything between 15 and 20 again. Now, to be super conservative on these, because they may take a little while to sell, I'm thinking possibly Christmas time, which is not too far away now. Probably in the next few weeks, people will start to look to buy things for Christmas. I'm going to put £10 on him. I'm going to put £10 on him. And we're going to put £20 on Rizzo. So we're looking at £40 return for something that a family member was going to just give away or chuck away, and they gave to me instead. Now, I could have refused it. I could have said, no, it's okay, I don't want it. But why would you turn down free stuff? And that's exactly what I said to my wife yesterday when she offered me these things from her side of the family. So that is the biggest tip I can give anyone. If you have very limited funds or no money at all, look close to home. Go around your house, look for things that you own. Don't look at your siblings' things or your parents' things. Look at your items. What can you sell from your possessions? And you can get that money and either go buy games with it, or you can go out and try and buy things to flip, and then you can use that money to buy games. That's exactly how I started doing it, and that's how I'm going to continue to do it. Welcome to the capital of Wales, where they have Resident Evil 2 on the N64 for £220. That is a very expensive game. I'm being told by the people in my comments, though, that is the definitive version of Resident Evil 2. So we'll have to wait and see, as if I'm actually going to be able to drop £220 on a video game. There's some really nice stuff here, though. I used to have that Middle Earth on the PC. That was given to me as well by someone I used to work with. Interestingly enough, it was given to me by the same person who I believe snubbed me in that CEX. If you know, you know. So FIFA 19 for £45. Who's going to say no? Me. The rest of the games are looking pretty nice. They did have a Mega Drive game that I really wanted, and to be honest, had I known I had the profit of those plushes, I would have picked it up. Can you see it? Can you see it? Do you know which one it is? It is Home Alone for £18. That is an absolutely banging game and is a really good deal. They've got Mickey Mania there as well. There's quite a few games in this CEX that I really wouldn't mind picking up. Road Rash is an absolute banger. The only problem with that is it's unboxed. They've got a decent amount of N64 games boxed as well as loose, which we're not really interested in the loose stuff these days, but you know, I may make an exception for the odd game. Their GameCube section looked very, very poor, and you're about to see in a second that I missed a massive section of it. This game I didn't know anything about, I don't think. I like it though, it looked really good. Black and Bruised, I think it was called. It was only a £5. I really should have picked this up and I didn't, but I put that to the side because I actually did intend on buying it. And then I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Then I looked through one of my favourite sections, and there's a cover reprinted there for Angry Birds, which was a shame. But I love Wii U. I just love the console. I think it's fantastic. And I'm definitely in the minority, but I really like it. Another cover reprinted there. It happens all too often, but at least they tell you. Who've been through that before, where of course a lot of people buy them online and they get sent cover reprinted. I would be absolutely fuming. I may do a CEX roulette, I think it's called, where you literally order a few things on CEX and see what condition they actually turn up in, because you can always take them back, but obviously things that we intend on keeping, because there are things in other CEXs that I'd like to add to the collection that I'm never going to be able to get to. So this is the other GameCube section. For some reason this one was just pushed off to the side. I nearly missed it all. Again, a few games in there that I wouldn't mind picking up and I probably should have looked a little bit closer at, but I decided that I would leave that CEX almost empty-handed. I did pick something up and I'll show you in just a second, but we head on over to game. This is the, if you are from Cardiff, this is the game in House of Fraser. It's at the very top. House of Fraser is closing. It's falling apart. There's no one in it. It's dead and it's bare. Honestly, if zombies were wandering around, they would not be out of place. But this game is actually huge. They've got it wedged in the corner, like the back left corner, but it is actually pretty big, and the selection of games is vast. And again, this is probably one of my biggest regrets. I say again as if I mentioned a regret before, but I have a regret from this game store. I didn't pick up a particular game that I really should have. I've never seen that before, but I think it's just a Sims 4 like bundle add-on or something. There was like a Star Wars thing. Sims is one of the games that I'd like to pick up. I do like sitting down controlling other people's lives, but I want it on the PlayStation 4. I actually would like it on the PC, but we're not collecting PC games, and I don't even think they do physical copies of things like that, so I can't even if I want to. Plus, I took the disc drive out of my PC, so I can't even use physical copies of PC games. However, I digress. I do want it on the PlayStation 4 at some point. I'm not waiting for it to come down, I'm just waiting to pull the trigger. I will at some point, I'm sure. So going back to it, my biggest regret of recent times is actually from this store. There is a game that I had in my hand at one point, and I will show you, and I really should have bought it. It's not like a rare game, it's not something that I will never find again, but it's something that I've had in my hand before in a game, and it was in my local game that no longer exists, and I took it to the counter to buy it in that game, but I wanted a different one, because it came in a tin, and the tin was very badly dented in several different places, and of course for a collector you don't want a dented tin. So I asked them did they have another one, they said no, and I didn't end up buying it. This one was in, you know, I wouldn't say perfect condition, but it was in new condition. Why didn't I buy it? I don't know, you tell me. I really don't know why I didn't buy it. I'm actually kicking myself. So looking through some of these games, a lot of them are going to be those sort of really cheap or free-to-play games that a lot of people like. Anthem. Is Anthem free-to-play these days? I really don't know. But it's one of those things that I'm not going to buy them just from looking at the cover. I'd like to do my research on it. There were a few that I could have easily have picked up and put into the collection and done maybe a spending the profit episode. And I should have, and I didn't. And I don't really know why. I just decided in the end that I would leave empty-handed, even though there were a few games there that I wouldn't have minded picking up. The game in question was this. I don't even know how you'd pronounce it. Is it 13 or is it X111? I really don't know. I don't know anything about it. I just like the look of the art style of the game. I like the fact that it comes in a tin. It's a really good looking game, and I don't know anything about it, and I don't really want to know, but I should have bought it, and I don't know why I didn't. So my first two items that I'm going to add to the collection are actually my possessions that I've had off to the side for a long time, that I've been thinking about trying to incorporate into the series. And since we added something specific in the last episode, I think now is the time to bring them into the fold, and especially as we have the money to be able to pay for them. So £40 goes into the cash profit of this series, because whether it's given to you for free, whether you already, I mean, if you already own it, maybe you've already bought it, so it's a little bit different. But if you've been given it for nothing, if you sell it for £1, that is 100% profit. So don't be afraid, if you are keeping a track of this sort of stuff, don't be afraid to just add that into your cash profit. It was given to you for free. Doesn't matter how often it happens, doesn't matter what the item is, you can always do that. It's fine. There are no rules here, okay? So we are talking non-game related things. They are gaming, I guess. The first thing is going to be, and if you followed my second channel where we talked about Funko Pops, you will definitely recognize these because they made a feature. The first one is going to be Raphael from Turtles. That is, I wouldn't say one of my favorite pops. The next one is actually one of my favorite pops. I love it. But that is in very good condition. It's never been out of the box because I am an in-box collector. I don't have a crazy amount of Funko Pops left anymore. I have mainly Masters of the Universe and Stranger Things. There are a couple of others knocking about the place, like some horror pops that we collect and we display in the living room. But that I want to put into the gaming collection because, like I said at the beginning, I want to try and add a couple of the Turtles games to the collection, the newer ones. And Turtles, one of my favourite shows growing up, and that is a really nice pop. The next one, this is one of my favourite pops, if not my favourite pop that I own, which is really weird because I own some pretty expensive ones and some nice ones. This isn't actually that expensive. This is Leonardo, but this is the grayscale. So like the Raphael, if you don't know anything about pops, that's obviously as accurate to Raphael as you can get, and then he is just greyed out, right? But he has that blue band across his eyes. It's what they call grayscale, but it's such a nice pop. Again, it's been out of the box very briefly to show in a video, but that's how I just keep it. It's got a protector on, so it's really reflective. I do apologise. But that and the Raphael pop. Now, I can't remember the exact prices of those. I think this was 7 plus postage, so that would be £10. I can't remember at all how much I paid for him. It would not have been a lot. Again, we're going to add £10. It would not have been more than 10. So both of those were 20. We're going to add those to the collection. Now, at the moment, I don't really have a crazy amount of room. I have Balrog here, which isn't going to stay there because as soon as we start putting some more PS4 games on the shelf, I'm going to run out of room. So I'm going to need to try and find space for these. But I really want to start incorporating a few more collectibles here or there rather than just video games. Like I said, I never do dedicated like collectibles in these videos. I'll always dedicate it to video games. But I do want to add the odd thing like that. And I thought, perfect time to incorporate those into the series. The next thing, and the last thing, is a video game. I picked this up in CEX in Cardiff, which is, like I said, a very depressing place. But they do have some really nice items. I kind of wish I picked up one of the GameCube games as well, but I didn't. But I could go back there at any time. It's not too far away. We are talking about the game that's actually displaying behind me. You probably can't tell what it is because of the glare, but it is Prey, and it's £4. Which is not bad. Now, had I known, to be honest, I bought this as part of a spending the profit. I didn't actually have those items when I bought this. So, I only spent £4 in that store because I thought I didn't really want anything else that was under the value of 15. Had I known I had £40 to spend, essentially, what I would have done was I probably would have picked up Home Alone on the Mega Drive because I used to have that game as a kid. I loved it. Even my wife wants to play that game and was urging me to buy it. And I was like, I can't really afford to do it. I can't incorporate it. You know, I do have cash profit in this series, but I do like to keep it for certain things. I didn't want to just splurge £18 of it. But to be honest, I probably could have, because those Turtles pops, I could have incorporated at any time when we had the spare money. But, Prey for £4. I love the Xbox 360 old school one. That was a really, really good game. Well, for me, I enjoyed it anyway. A lot of people didn't like it, but no manual with it. Again, I don't know if it ever did come with a manual, but I am kind of looking forward to popping that in and just seeing what it's all about. There are a couple of other games that are very similar genre-wise, like horror, that I'd like to pick up. We're talking like your Dead Space and things like that. I used to love playing those games, but for some reason we don't have them in the collection. One thing we do really need, though, is an Xbox 360. Really need to add that console to the collection. I've seen a few on Facebook today, but they're the old white models that really do suffer from the red ring of death, and I'd rather not go down that road if possible. I'd rather get one of the slimmer ones, or even the newer. The most newest one, if you will, that they do. I think the E console it's called, or something along those lines. I've bought and sold plenty of them over the years, or over the months, maybe the year, whatever. Never kept one. So I'd like to get one of those as soon as possible, but I don't want to pay over the odds for it. You know, I used to buy them for like £10-15 on Facebook and then flip them for 60-70 quid during the pandemic. Prices have come down on them a little bit now, but people want more for them on Facebook, which is really weird. I don't understand. But I will keep my eye out. With that being said, though, we are adding 2 pops to the collection. We're also adding Prey to the collection as well. In the next video, I am going to go into my local town, because we've not been there for a little while. We're going to have a little look around the charity shops, see if we can pick anything up to flip, and then anything we can make a profit on, we're just going to go and spend. I'm thinking not even in CEX, though. I'm thinking we're going to go into the pawn shop, which is called Regenerate, because they have got a couple of glass cabinets with some consoles and some games in. that we may look to pick up. But if you have enjoyed that video, do me a favour and hit that like button, subscribe as I requested at the very beginning, it would help me out a lot. And until the next time, goodbye.